The purpose of this recording is to share with you the research that we have been doing in the last 5 years, ever since the Ideal Career Workshop was created and delivered for the first time in August 2005. Some of you have never attended an Ideal Career Workshop, so let me share with you a little bit what we have been doing in the last 5 years, teaching the Ideal Career Workshop and sharing this valuable and practical knowledge with people, hundreds of people. Basically, the ideal career is a framework that captures the four fundamental dimensions of human beings. So you have the emotional dimension, the intellectual dimension, the physical dimension, and the spiritual dimension. We also call these four dimensions passion, talent, solution, and values. So let's talk about passion. What is passion? Everybody knows what passion is when they see passion. When you see a person who's passionate about something, you can easily recognize it because that person will tend to invest a lot of energy into her passion. She will immerse herself, she will invest herself, she will commit herself to learning about her passion, to doing more stuff within the field that she's passionate about. She will do it for free. She will do it because she feels good doing it. So passion is really the unconditional love that you feel for a certain topic, a certain field, a certain activity. The key word here is unconditional. And this is one of the mistakes that people make when they choose a career. They choose a career because they think that that career will bring them money, or because they think that that career choice is a good choice financially speaking. For example, some people will choose the computer industry because they feel that it's more secure. So that is not passion because it's conditional. In other words, you chose a field, you chose to invest your career in a field on the condition that it be profitable for you financially. That's not unconditional love. That's not unconditional passion. Unconditional passion is the love that you feel for a topic or an activity or a field without condition. You love it because you love it. So somebody who loves cars and reads everything about cars and attends cars trade shows and talks about cars with his friends and thinks about cars and dreams about cars, that person is passionate about cars. He doesn't love cars because he believes that the car industry will be profitable and will give him a lot of money. That would be conditional love. He loves cars because he loves cars. In the same way that a man will love a woman because he loves the woman, not because she's a certain size or her eyes are a certain color or her hair is a certain color. That would be conditional love. So here I have to say that the majority of mankind defines love in a very conditional manner. A lot of people will love something or someone because it brings them a certain reward externally. But what I'm talking about in the ideal career, when I mention the word passion, when I talk about passion, is unconditional passion, unconditional love. So this is really important because basically there are four dimensions, as I've said before. There's passion, there's talent, there's solution, and there's values. But the commonality between all these four dimensions is that there is unconditional love for each of these dimensions. So for example, you have to have unconditional love for your passion. Passion in our workshop is defined as a field of inquiry or a field of activity. Inquiry means you study it. For example, it could be philosophy, it could be literature. That's inquiry. You study it. It's intellectual. Activity is obviously something that you do, something physical. It could be cooking, it could be woodworking. So that is a physical activity. So you've got to have unconditional love for your passion, for your field, in order for you to have a solid basis in your career. If you do not have unconditional love for your field, where you're going to be spending a huge amount of time developing your career, then you will not feel the unconditional love flowing back to you. Because this is the law of attraction. If you do not have unconditional love for your field, you will not feel that love coming back to you. It's simple physics. So there are many people who chose a career based on conditional passion, conditional love. And I'm not saying that it's bad. That's the level that they chose. But they have the opportunity now to realize, after attending the ideal career, that they can choose again. They can choose a different flavor, so to speak. They can choose to engage in unconditional love of a field, of a passion. And as they explore this field, as they study more about what they are unconditionally in love with, they will find that a new power will emerge inside of them. This is the power of unconditional love. When you look at all these successful people in the world, the Bill Gates and the Oprahs and the Dr. Phils and the Mother Teresas and all these Donald Trump and Richard Branson, you can detect right away that these people are unconditionally in love with their field. Whether it's broadcasting, whether it's helping poor people, whether it's computers in the case of Bill Gates, whether it's economics in the case of Dr. Yunus Mohammed, the Nobel Prize winner. He invented the concept of microcredit in the 1980s. You can see that all these great people who have great careers and are incredibly famous and rich, they chose a field that they're passionate about and they love that field unconditionally. I mean, the proof is that they have so much money that they don't have to continue to be in that field, but they continue to be in it for the love of it, for the joy of it. So these are the stars that we should follow. And that's one of the radical approaches that the Ideal Career Workshop is taking. We, instead of solving problems that people have, a resume or how to perform at a job interview, these are tactical or operational problems. Instead of doing that, we go the opposite. We look at the people who have been incredibly successful in their careers and we model them. We model them. We try to extract what it is that they're thinking, what it is that they're believing, what it is that they're doing, and we share our findings with the rest of the world. So that is the right way to learn. If you wanted to learn karate, would you learn from somebody who doesn't know karate, or would you learn from Bruce Lee? Of course, you would follow the master. So the Ideal Career encourages people to identify the masters in terms of career management and follow the masters. Model yourself after the masters. The same idea of unconditional love applies to the other dimensions, namely your talent, your solution, and your values. So let's talk about your talent. Your talent could be writing, it could be singing, it could be dancing, it could be public speaking, it could be selling, it could be organizing, it could be finance, it could be anything that you do that produces a superior result that is paid. Paid because if you're not paid by someone, then it's a hobby. Nothing wrong with that, but try to identify a talent from which you can create a result that is paid, because then it makes it easier for you to launch your career. Now, if you have a talent and you've been doing your talent and you've been producing a certain result that is superior to the average person's result, but you haven't been paid for it yet, don't worry because the payment will come. We have a process, a procedure to help you to monetize the output of your talent. So don't worry about it. But in our definition of talent, the entire definition is a natural or superior ability to produce a paid result. So the idea of unconditional love here is that you've got to love your talent because you love your talent. So don't identify a talent or choose to develop a talent because you think that it will bring you money. No, a talent is something that you do because you love doing it. That's basically the highest definition of a talent, a natural talent. And why is it like that? Why do you need to have unconditional love for your talent? Because that is the validation, that is the legitimation, that is the verification that your talent is indeed aligned with your nature. In other words, when I say that you have unconditional love for your talent, what I'm saying basically is that you have unconditional love for your nature, for who you are truly, because your talent comes from your nature, comes from the way that you are naturally wired in your brain, in your body, in your heart, in your mind. So if you choose a talent and you develop and love and practice your talent conditionally, meaning that you develop your talent only because it brings you money, then that is not unconditional love. And therefore, that is not unconditional love of your nature, of yourself. So that is a flaw that you have to be aware of. Tom Rath will help you to explore the